Hello, now then, welcome back. This is episode 15 of the Ridgeside Farm Folktales hard mode playthrough. And today, I think we're going to be looking up to wrap up a few bits and pieces with this playthrough. I don't think there's much more we can do in it. So I think we're going to just go hell for leather. First of all, let's get them running around and let's just say, build me everything. Obviously helps if I hit the right thing. I believe these are prioritized in such a way they should be done sooner rather than later, which will give us a ton of housing, which is maybe not the best. But we do need to think about what our end game is for this, game. So, that is going to be, obviously, launching the old monument here. So we're going to need to get the old sciencery back open. Get someone in there to get that running for us. We are in the middle of a drought, 7 days left. Don't think that's any of a concern anymore. We're kind of there, to be fair. So they should get all of these things built. We may just turn off some of these houses, to be fair. So gonna be some homeless beavers, but if anything, it's an incentive to get it built. So that balances out once they're all constructed, which actually I think there's only one left. 2. No, it shouldn't take them too long, and then we'll just turn any houses back on that are left to give us a nice, decent number. See how that works out for us anyway. Let's go. Yeah, okay. So we do need a couple of houses anyway, so let's just turn them back on. Turn that off. That'll do. That'll do for now anyway. So, we're low on water. We could fix that, but I don't really want to. So, not without expanding this. I don't think we're there. So, the only thing I am going to get them to also now do is finish this off. As I must finish this. So, while we're here, let's get them on it. I don't believe we have... Oh no, we do. We have everything we'll need for most of that anyway. And what we did also put in was these bits in here. Which I am going to actually get them to do first. So the builder beavers should have absolutely nothing else to do. The science should roll in, hopefully. And we also need to get on with building everything else on here. So gears, not good, but not far. Metal blocks, a million miles away. Which is probably due to the lack of metal up here, but we can fix that too. By saying, get these built. And then we'll need to make a detour somewhere to get some more metal, which I think for all intents and purposes is probably best served around, well, here. Not that it's well connected with the zip line, but we can maybe put one of those in to make that a little bit easier. In fact, we will. So we'll probably end up going up there if this runs out, but we need to get them in and on construction. We're also going to need the bits, so I'm going to have to unpause these. We don't have a lot of gear production, but should be okay. Longish term, anyway. Let's see. So I don't think we need too much more dirt. We've got quite a bit of it, but let's just say that we're going to say these are going to be for... Is it 2,000 we needed? 1,500. So we need another gear, which can't go in there anyway. So we have enough. So we'll sparkly plankify that. We don't need any of them to worry about. Metal blocks, logs. I'm not entirely convinced that scrap metal is going to end up filling this either. So I'm going to make that. We have 2,000 storage for those anyway, actually, so... we just need more gears then. Okay, in that case, let's just change tact ever so slightly. So we just need a place to put in a giant place for gear storage. And I think it's just going to have to be right here. Can it go anywhere around here? No. Decisions. But that's kind of screwed for what that is. What's in here? Beauty planks. Well, when I said I don't think we'll need any more dirt, I may have lied. I may have lied quite a bit. But that should, in theory, allow us to build this. In fact, let's save ourselves some time, shall we? You are going to be for the old gears. It gives them a little bit of a distance to walk, but nothing too strenuous, I don't think. And I would like these doing first. Let's just see if they got underneath here. They did. Good. That should keep that well wet, which it looks like it will. Good. So that's that problem solved. Dirt will probably be a problem, as it's stuck over here. But we'll see how that gets done. I think they'll be able to build all that. If they can build to the side, they can build all that. Cool. Alright, so we have 11 board beavers. Can we maximise potential anywhere else? Don't think we can. Everyone is kind of busy. Farms are at full. They shouldn't die. They should be working on this. We have more than enough planks to rip out and put straight back in, so I'm not too fussed about that either. We also need this layer to be set. It's quite a bit, but it'll be fine. Lots of paper and plank. Oh, that was the beehive, wasn't it? Cool, so they finished farming in here now, so this area is free to use for anything, really, which is probably where we're going to stick this guy. As it's mostly central. Mostly. But it will hit the entire map at once, near enough. So that'll be good. Bit of a ways off, only 8,000 to go, but it will not take us long to get there. Let's see, anything we can work on. Dance hall and agoras. We could probably make some things out of that, actually, as well. And we don't really have anything else built either, so I think maybe we change our tune and we put that somewhere else, and we have all the fun down here, maybe. We'd need power, though, which we don't really have over here. Helps if I actually connect that to a path. But getting power over here would be painful, but doable. I wonder if it's worth bringing some of that out of here. Maybe not. Maybe it is. I don't know. Let's see. So Agora, the old big beast that it is. Okay, let's do this properly then. Bring me the dirt. Hopefully they can reach this. Looks like they can. Let's see. We're pretty much maxed out with builders as well, so why don't we say, if we've got this many spare beavers, so close, but yet so far. Let's get some of those into work. Make things just a tiny bit easier. Let's see, the water will be back in 0.3 days, so that'll greenify this area for us. Cool. I think... Can these go anywhere else? That is our only store of carrots. Really? Well. That is interesting. Cycle 34, the drought ends. Well, in that case, let's say this is for carrots then. I'd like to get rid of these. I didn't realise we had that many more of these small houses left. Yep. Goodbye. Thought they'd all been replaced, but never mind. Obviously it was structural, so let's tidy this up. Get this emptied. Cool, so we have 1 million beavers now, that's good. That can go. And let's just go wild in here, I suppose. Yes. Now, do these need power? They don't need power, but they do need mud, so we will need to get some more of that on the case, I think. So let's just prioritize these. Let's try and hit some of that well-being, shall we? Don't think we'll be able to fit this in now. We will. Oh, we won't. We'll have to find a bit of a better place for that to live, but definitely doable. Maybe we'll put it up here then. Or maybe on top of this, actually. Maybe up here. Nah. Maybe down here. I don't know. We'll get it sorted. This should be for the extract juices. We'll also get the haulers to do that as well. Helps if that's actually running then, doesn't it? Right, so we're down 3 jobs, so we should probably say that these are not the most vital jobs in all creation. But it will certainly give them something to do. Efficient farmhouse. Really? Where exactly? Okay, more injured beavers. Okay, so how are they doing here? They're doing exactly what I've told them to do, so that's okay. That shouldn't be too much longer though, they're probably going to need some paths though, so let's just fix that. Okay. Everything should be in reach. That will get done as soon as possible. There we go. Okay. Alright, so that should give us a decent boost on getting this sorted. Now, hopefully, we just need to get some dirt into these. We may need to run the dirt excavator just for a little bit, just to boost up the supplies. Now, it probably didn't help that I changed this from dirt, but we kind of need it elsewhere, so congratulations, you are now dirt. And we'll get this filled up and then we should be able to pause it for a bit. We never really used a lot of it in the end, did we? But never mind. There'll be plenty to go into that pile somewhere soon. Let's reduce the working hours, give them a bit more time for luxury. We did spend quite a bit of science building all that stuff, but, you know, gotta spend money to make money. Or something like that, anyway. That's how the saying goes, I suppose. And then we should be able to get them to concentrate on this level, and then hopefully start to be able to take some stuff out. Planks are fine. Not that we need them, we need the sparkly planks, but nice, 38, here we go. Give them a bit more luxury. Mud pits are working fine. I suppose we need a brazier rebonding at some point, don't we? It's not very big though. We're kind of somewhere it's going to hit them all at once. which is probably there to be fair, so say goodbye to this, and then it's expensive now, but still, it'll be okay. So as they're coming down to here, they should get some benefit from it. Obviously, these guys living in the area are going to get it while they're asleep, but we should be able to see a decent amount of benefit from them just zipping through. Yeah, we're running close to the maximum amount of power, but I don't think it's too much of an issue. Taking this out was the right call. Let's make that a hauling problem, I think. And yeah, now it's just a case of waiting for all the bits to come in. That is quite a lot of planks. We could get them to build that first. Not a wise idea, but it would be nice. Okay, that's a bad tide. That's good. It means we'll be able to fill these tanks up quite nicely. Okay, so I think time to add some more gears. Let's just flip that, put that there. Going to be hideously ugly paths, but I think we'll be good. I think all of, well, I thought all of those were haulers. And this scrap ain't going to last forever, not with 4 of them pulling it to pieces. We're probably going to want another hauling post at some point, but let's see. We've got 2, 4. Yeah, shouldn't be too bad. Nice. I really want to build that. How far have we got with this? At all? No. But they should do it soon. I'm pretty sure that they can go to the one above. Yeah, looks like it. Looks like they're laying in all of the stuff that they need to make this a possibility as well, so... And weirdly starting in that corner, but never mind. Leave them to it. I want this built now, so send all the planks this way. Maybe not wise, but we're going to do it that way. Do we actually have all the beavers stuck now? Oh, the 3 we built we've actually lost. Never mind, it's fine. I think there'll be enough dirt to keep these going. Is it 10? Yeah, loads. Let's pause that again. Or release them to go somewhere else. Anywhere else at all. We could maybe put another one of those here actually as well, but because this doesn't actually work. I guess this corner will get hit by them, but that's about it. Not that anyone's, because they're not living here anymore, it's kind of out the way. think we're going to need haulers as well, so why not say... Just leave those as low-hanging fruit as well. Just set them to be lower priority, higher priority than builders, but lower priority than anything else. Lovely. Right, so that's fixed. That should then mean they're back underneath here, which is okay. And then the bad tide is going to be with us very shortly. So dynamite's keeping up. A ton of that. Gears are going up nicely, so I'm hoping... Yes, okay. Nothing should be using them, so it should go up. If we can fill this thing, then we're good for gears. Sparkly planks, less so. We're probably going to need another one of these, if I'm honest. Okay, 18-day bad tide. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. This will dry up again, but that's what it is. With Fountain of Joy, you'll be bringing plenty to the party with that one for as long as it can, which is all you can ask of it. So, if we are going to say... Yeah, if we're going to say that we're going to need to put another one of these in... Pine resin. Yeah, tons of that. I don't think pine resin is going to be a problem. Can't really fit one of these in anywhere else. Oh, can we? No, we can't. Okay. Well, for now, I guess we'll just put that there. And then once that's built, okay, we'll use some of the gears we just made, but still, be fine. And if we get the parts built, we should be in good stead to get everything done to get this bad boy built. And we'll just put in a weird old path there. Ooh, sorry. I had to disappear from the desk for a minute, so there'll be a weird cut around here, so apologies for that. So, hopefully... It's going to take a million years to fill that up, but it will do it. Well... The drain with these and what not running is probably going to be an interesting one, but... we'll see how that goes. I think dynamite will keep up anyway. Okay, weird way to do it, but alright. Pretty sure I dragged it from a corner, but fair enough. Let's just pick up all this trash. And let's get the planks in here. That might think things a tiny bit quicker. We could also do with some dynamite over here, so let's put that in as well. Dynamite, high priority, obtain. And tick the box when it appears. There we go. So, because they were underneath here, but I've ripped all those out before, so at the very bottom, all the farming stock had those in the way. There's some weird logs there, but should be fine. Maple syrup's not looking too hot, is it? But I'm loving the maple pastries, though, that's for sure. Nice. Very nice. We don't really have the spare beavers, so no need to worry too much about it. Yeah, it should be. Do you need to be up here? Oh yeah, because these died, didn't they? They shouldn't die again. Although actually they may. Actually. Keep an eye on that. I think for the time being though, you can go find something else to do. Yeah, we are certainly tuning through the trees now, though. So these keeping up? Yeah, there's some spare. I mean, to be fair, we could cut them down if we're really so desperate to pull them out, but I don't think we're ever going to be that stuck, to be fair. So, not too worried. Not started those. We've only got 4 kids and a spare bed, so I suppose good news, we have some spare beds. I'd have thought these would have had a bit more because they're pretty much all over here, but never mind. Shrubs are plenty. I suppose most things hit it, so... Right, except here. Never mind. It'll be fine. Sure, there'll be no problems. Okay. Alright, so they are actually making a decent amount of work on that. So what we could do is put them in here. If we were to say... If we were to say that, guess. Watch the machine have a crisis trying to deal with that. And then if we just put in here... if we set this to dynamite as an obtain, and then if we just say you can be for the old planks, and there's not enough room in here to install that. So let's just do it the old-fashioned way of putting in lots of tiny ones. Copy and paste settings from 1.0 would be amazing. Let's just empty that and not bother with that. What we can say with some certainty is if you pick all of this up, that should increase the stock quite nicely. And the haulers need to do this as well, so yes please, to the haulers. And that should get that done for us pretty quick. So we've got 12 days left on this bad tide. We've hit 50, very nice, very nice. 51. So let's see. It's hitting more than I thought it would actually. I was expecting less than that, but I'll take that as a win. We do have options for carousel and books and detailer. We're not growing cactail crackers, I'm sorry. I just don't want to. We could, but I just don't want to. I'd need to rejig all of this. I did think about channeling underneath here, but I don't want to. This was enough. This pain. It was enough. What we can do is stop prioritizing that. That should put that as a priority for everything else. That's beautiful. Look at that. That's my kind of work speed. It'd take a long to rip all that out though, so yeah, anyway. I guess we've got plenty of spare build. No, they're not spare, so I'm not too sure. But the gear's looking good. They're going up to where we need them to be. They are as slow as ever, sparky planks. How long do they actually take to create? 3 hours. Alright, fair enough. We're going to need some more of those, I think. And metal is good also. Have we finished up here? Nearly. Very nearly. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to say, if this will fit, which it will. I'm going to put that in. Should we get less? 3 an hour, so... is it 3 hours or whatever it was? Was it 3? I forgot. 3 hours. Okay. That should fix that problem Somewhat, anyway. We don't really have the beavers for it either, but they'll come out of building for that. And we should have a nice big pile of ones we can take out of here. So let's just say goodbye to all of those, which is just planks. And let's just say, bring me these. Get these back in the old stocks, and then we should be golden. And then for farming, I don't know if we can plant trees up here actually, so will it fit? No. 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 I mean, we could plant a million dandelions, but not much use to anyone. Yes, carrots could probably come up here, to be fair. Don't think. Did we plant carrots on the bottom? Let's have a look. Oh, we did. Fair enough, never mind. So let them empty that and then they can carry on. Okay, it's filling up quite nicely. This is now finished and we have someone in, so get the haulers on that. I think we should probably get this built. And this. Okay, that's okay, it's fine. Seem to have some spares, so they can go and do everything else. We're at 15,000 science, that's ideal. Should hit the 20,000 before, so we'll probably unlock this time, but we're probably not going to get this built this time, so next episode we'll get this built, I think, and then if there's anything else we want to do with this map, we can look to get that done. I suppose the bits that we're missing on, other than cattail crackers, we can give them maybe a day off. And there's a couple of bits we could also build if we wanted to build books. Paper production isn't the greatest. I think we've only got storage for 20. I know we got 200 somewhere. Not entirely sure where that is, but it's around here somewhere. Okay, so 8 days, that's got plenty of water in it, that's the wrong bits. Yes, that's still covered. We've got 1,200 of those, so we no longer need to worry about this. And they'll probably disappear just as quickly as they can put it in. What's the paths like over this bit? They're okay, I think. That may help somewhat. More efficient, anyway. Okay, so we do have 3 injured beavers, though, so we could tidy up some of this hospital wing because it's not the greatest layout I've ever seen, and it does cut off access to this area just a tiny bit. Oh no, it doesn't. We have a path here. Never mind. Change our mind. We're not going to do that either. So the other bits of fun we can have was carousel, which we can't put over here, but the detailer we could do. Not entirely sure I want to spend 1,000 science on it though. Or do I? Yeah, I think I do. So, right, let's do it. Let's do it. Yes. I know it's quite a lot, but with that built, we should, in theory, be able to also pause that. In fact, also delete that. I don't need that anymore because there's no farm down here. So no, I have no fancy graphics or anything like that, so we're just going to go with the standard, the basics. Obviously, we're going to need to make sure the haulers are delivering the goods. It might be an idea to just put in a teeny tiny tank of extract. I mean, there's some fairly close by, but it's not going to be too much for them to do. It's a bit of a mare having to set the priority for everything just so they can get this done. But how are we doing? Looking good. We don't need to do a plank run just yet either, so that's good to see. It is moving at a pace though, so that's good. Okay. So we're nearly back up to where we were that we paid for the detailers, but I'm hoping that will... I was hoping for more than that, to be honest, but it is nearly the end of the day, so I guess they'll hit that afterwards. So I'm hoping that we'll see another boost back up to this. Although we did hit 51, we're obviously dropping like flies at this point, so I guess it's the end of the day and they're not quite as happy as they could be. But I'm hoping we'll see that bump up overnight, which looks like it to be the case. So there's some beavers running around with the wrong one. That's not ideal, but I think they're all... That is a hideous sound, but sorry about that. That should mean that then they should be all fully stocked. Now we're going to do the metal over here sooner rather than later, so let's lay that in. And I think we'll just say here, 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 and here. Not sure. Not entirely sure what the best thing for us to do here is, but let's just rip this out. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. And then we'll put in a storage space just here for scrap. As a supply, which again, priority, because it needs to be. And then we'll get the haulers to send it wherever it needs to go. I mean, there's still loads up here, to be honest, so we're not looking to retire this area anytime soon. We've got 5 days, it's not too bad. And they're nearly done. Fantastic. Okay. Planks. We have to do a plank run, I think. So there's now a million planks there, and hopefully... we just say... rip me these out. There should be enough in that pile to fill this up quite nicely and finish the rest of this off. So... and then we're going to have a million planks, more than we will ever need. So we can just basically pause these forever at that point. Okay, looking good there. Gears are on the way up too, so that's good to see. Metal blocks should, in theory. We could probably replace a couple of these actually. So we may put in another wood workshop and another smelter down here actually. Once this is done. They should be able to get that done pretty quickly. And here we go, the final row, near enough. Close enough to be the final row anyway. Doing it in a really random, weird, roundabout order, but never mind. And we are done. Apart from one thing? Why aren't you done? Weird, but okay. Right, let's clear this, shall we? Yep. Yep. Why is this not getting done? We have the dynamite, we have everything else. Please? Anyone? My kingdom for a horse? No? Alright, fair enough. Let's get all this jazz emptied. We don't need it. Where's the tunnel now gone? I'm really confused as to why this is not getting done. Especially as the most important thing to be done in all creation, and there's 12 million builder beavers. I would have hoped that it would have been done by now, but seemingly not. Well, I'm very confused. Is that because they can't delete it? I'm not sure. Oh. Oh, I see. Aha. So these are the two holes when I was breaking everything before. So that can't be installed because of stuff that's in the way. If we just say rip those out. Sooner rather than later, please. Obviously not in the middle of the night. I appreciate that. But here comes the beavers. And I'm hoping then if we can say this is now reachable. And this is now reachable. Yes, alright, fine, fair enough. My bad. My bad. That's my bad. That's very much my bad. Alright, so, do we want to plug this hole as well? I say yes. Let's get that in there, and let's get some stairs in here. Go up a little bit, and we should be able to now hit this square to maybe install this. To not install this. Okay, why? So, is it because I bet they won't be able to do this, but we'll see. I don't think this is how it works, but maybe. It doesn't say they can't, so I assume it means they can. But if we see dirt coming into this... Well, there you go. So we'll use this to patch up my previous whoopsie of not knowing how to build anything. But with that said, we can now replant our good friend the sunflowers just there. And that should be everything up here, so clean up on aisle 1. I think we have more planks than we can shake a stick at, so their job, their watch is now ended. Gear's out too far from being done, so that's perfect. And they should get used in the creation of all of this jazz. So that's a bit of a whoopsie, but we'll sort it in just a second. It's going to use some of the stuff to make all this happen, but in the end, it's going to be worth it. I will leave this one in place because there's no need to not have it in place. It's starting to hit some of the pine resin, but hopefully it's not going to cause too much impact. 29 days? Maybe about right, actually. We also don't need this much dynamite anymore, so let's pause that. That will reduce some of the workload on everything, and we should be back in good shape. Everything's been picked up there. There's no place to stick all that, so not much we can do about it, but we'll worry about it another time. Okay, so we will lay in the paths next time for that, and with those three running, it should be okay. Why? They are not waterproof. Oh, is it just a certain? Yeah, okay, never mind. Never mind. I know why. I know why. I thought that was because I'd ripped that out, but it is not. That should give the gears a boost. Good to see. We have one homeless beaver as well, which is interesting. And they'll empty that as we go. So we just need to figure out what we're going to do up here now. So obviously something food-based, something farm-based. Let's say there. Just for symmetry's sake, let's do that. And I don't know what the hell it was thinking, but that's what it chose to do. That was not what I wanted to do at all. Yes. Let's get that in there. And I think that's all the paths tied up that's underneath all of this rubble, which will eventually get picked up. They were quick, weren't they? Okay, fine. So, what can go in here? So, it's crops and crops only. So, what are we short on? Maple pastries, which is fine, I suppose, but... looks like it's a bit of amount of sunflowers, but is that because we have nowhere to store them? Which is, the answer is probably yes. Okay, so let's just say then. Let's just say this. And that should be food forever. and because we don't have a big storage, I can't really put it over here. Don't think there's the space for it. Not really. But it is near the farm, so let's do this and just say sunflower seeds can live in here. Can't see, gone blind. Sunflower seeds. The one thing we won't be able to do is build anything in here. Just wondering if it's worth growing some. I mean, we have berries here, but there's not too many of them. We don't really need it. Anyway, that's the farms laid in. That's this done. So I think we're gonna, before our next cycle changes, which probably won't be too much longer, I'll do the wrap up now. Hopefully it's not going to be too much of a long drought or bad tide that's coming in, but we've got quite a decent temperate cycle out of this, so... And there she is, just as predicted. So, another bad tide approaching. We've got 3 days, so let's just wrap up what we've done now. So, today we have finished, finally, the monumental task of this. This has been painful. Especially figuring out this broke my brain, as I've said on several things at this point. But together we have managed to get it built. This is all protected and should stay green because of the bits and pieces we've got laid in here for a bit of watering holes that we've got down here. So that's good to see. Trees will probably have a bit of a chance to recover now, as they're a bit short, but not too bad. I mean, we haven't got around to ripping these out yet and getting them done. I think they're in range. Yes, just choose not to be. So yes, I think what we'll do is we'll unplant this farm up here. We may turn this into more trees, potentially. As I don't think we need it. I also don't think we need this, so I'm going to pause, do this and see how it goes. So yes, we've also improved the downtime delta. This is now fully done. May consider putting some more monuments over this way just to boost the morale in the area, but I think the monuments are doing as good as they can. Maybe one over here somewhere. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. Other than that, we've shifted gears quite a lot to get, well, gears, and here they are. So there's enough to build bits of this thing now. Sparkly planks are on the way up, and metal is also on the way up. So we'll soon have enough pieces to sink entirely into this, which will be interesting. If you have any ideas where you'd like that to live, let me know. It would be good to get it somewhat local to where the beavers are, but I've kind of blown where it could live. Maybe in here, perhaps, not sure. Maybe down in the delta, again, not sure. Let me know your thoughts. We could build a platform for it to sit on so it's raised a bit higher, but it covers the entire map, so it's not really too much of a problem. It is unlockable now, but I'll not do that. I'll save that until the next and maybe final episode next time. I don't think there's anything else we really need to do on this playthrough. We've conquered the map. Food is no issue. Water hasn't touched the sides of this for a while. We could turn on the rest of the housing. Might mean we need to build a bigger tank, potentially. We can do tidying up round here, but I don't think we need to. May give the beavers a day off as well, so... But yes, anyway. I will wrap up there and stop talking. If you have any comments, as I say, please chuck them down below. What you'd like to see, what you'd like to do. We can get on that before we finish this series out. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.